Hi, I'm John Clabaugh with WashingtonStateDrivingTest.com, and in this video I'm going to give you 3 really big tips to help you pass the behind the wheel portion of the Washington driving test. If you stick to these 3 principles and you get lots and lots of practice, then there's no reason why you shouldn't pass the test on your very first try. So the first tip I'm going to give you, high-level overview, you've got to use good vision. Good vision is a scoring component of almost every part of the test. Parallel parking, backing around a corner, changing lanes, even things as simple as driving to the side of the road and stopping and then re-entering traffic, all of those have a vision component. And so if you're not using good vision, if you're not looking where you're going, then you're going to lose points over and over and over again on the test. So what does it mean to use good vision? Well, it means that you look where you're going. So for example, when you're approaching an intersection, scan both ways, look both ways before you enter the intersection, right? That one goes without saying. If you're going to change lanes, you need to make sure you do the head check procedure where you actually look over your shoulder to check your blind spot. All right, that's a big one that they will mark a lot of people off, mark a lot of points off on those for a lot of people. Another one, anytime you're driving in reverse, you should be predominantly turned around and looking out the rear window. Just like that, all right? None of this using the rear view mirror, and trying to back around the corner. You've got to be looking out the rear window. Now it's okay on a maneuver like backing around the corner if you occasionally glance at your side mirror, right? Because you got to check how far you are from the curb. But for the most part, the most of your time driving backwards, you should predominantly be looking out the rear window. All right, so that's good vision. What's number 2? Number 2, you can totally bomb on a couple of maneuvers and still pass the test. So a lot of people, students, customers of my courses, they email me and they tell me what they're concerned about. Usually it's backing around a corner or parallel parking that people seem to have the biggest challenges with. Well, I got some great news for you. See, the way the scoring works on the test, each maneuver has its own point value. So for example, parallel parking is only worth 4 points. Backing around a corner is only worth 4 points. And in order to pass, you need 80 points out of 100. So you have 20 points to work with, where you can lose up to 20 points and still have a passing score, right? So think about it this way. Backing around the corner, 4 points. You could do horrible on backing around a corner. You could do every single thing wrong on backing around a corner. The only thing you're going to lose is 4 points. Unless, it's a big caveat, unless you hit one of the automatic failures, like you run into a car or you cause a dangerous action where someone has to swerve to avoid you, or you drive off the road. If you do some knucklehead maneuver like that, then yeah, you're not going to pass. But backing around a corner, as long as you don't do the automatic failures, it's only worth 4 points. So really, you could screw up backing around a corner and parallel parking, and that's only 8 points. So if you're doing well on the rest of the test, then you've still got a really good shot at passing. And I guess my point here is, don't let a bad maneuver ruin your day, right? If something goes wrong on backing around a corner during your driving test, don't worry about it. Just shake it off, take a deep breath, move on to the next maneuver, and nail that one. And you have a really good shot at still passing. The third tip I'm going to give you, left turns and right turns are worth 6 points each. This is the highest point value out of anything on the test, right? Most maneuvers are worth 2 points, 4 points, things like that. And remember, you need 80 to pass. But turns, left and right turns, 6 points each. 6 points for left turns, 6 points for right turns. So if you're going to screw something up on your test, don't screw up on your turns, okay? Those are really going to sink you, especially if you mess up on left and right turns. So now you're probably wondering, well, how do I mess up on a turn? So the types of errors you want to avoid when you're turning are cutting the corner, So on a left turn, that might mean you cut across the center lane a little bit when you're making your turn, or maybe there's a concrete island there. You might hit the island. Don't do that. Turning too wide is another way to screw up a turn. If you swing so wide that you have to overcorrect to end up in the right lane, or if you end up turning into the incorrect lane, or if you're so wide that you drive into the bike lane or drive off the road, hit the curb, anything like that, that's going to cost you 6 points. All right, the next thing you don't want to screw up on your turns, failing to signal. Always signal. Whenever you're changing lanes, whenever you're making a turn, signal, signal, signal. Another thing that'll make you lose 6 points for turning, driving too fast in the turn. All right, you need to make sure that you're taking the turn at a nice, moderate, controllable speed. You don't want to go zooming through there like a race car driver. I mean, maybe you can handle it, and maybe your car can handle it really well, but that's not what you're supposed to do on the test, all right? Take it easy. And, going too fast on a turn, there's no like set, speed number that we're thinking of here. This is really up to the examiner's discretion of whether you're using too much speed going into a turn. So err on the side of caution. Don't drive too fast in the turn. And then the last thing that is a 6 point deduction on turns is using good vision. Right? So using good vision on a turn means you're clearing the intersection. You're looking both ways. You're scanning the intersection with your eyes before you make the turn. On a right turn, that might mean also checking your blind spot over your right shoulder real quick, just to make sure there's not somebody on a bike coming up alongside you when you're going to turn right. So you want to make sure that you're scanning, that you're looking, and that you're aware of everything coming up in front of you on your course. Now, one more tip regarding vision, right? When you're scanning, when you're looking left and right, try to make it obvious for the examiner, because the examiner is going to be watching you and they're going to be paying attention to, where you're looking and what you're doing with your eyes. And, if you just do your eyes like this, left and right, the examiner might not see that, and that might result in a point deduction for vision. So instead, turn your head, all right? Turn your head, make it obvious. That way they see that you're looking both ways. So those are 3 really big high-level tips to help you pass the behind-the-wheel portion of the Washington State driving test. And if you want to know more, come to my website, WashingtonStateDrivingTest.com. I offer 2 online test prep courses to help you get ready for the behind the wheel test in Washington State. There's a free course, totally, absolutely, and completely free. You enter your email address and you'll receive 5 video lessons via email, including 1 lesson from the premium course. And there's a lot of students who have taken my free course, and that's all they've needed, especially if you've got some driving experience. Maybe you're an adult, you're getting your license back. Maybe the free course is all you need for a little refresher. But if you're a new driver, or if you're someone who has some anxiety about driving or about the test, then you should take the premium course. Premium course is very affordable. It does cost money. And the premium course has 9 video lessons that take you through every single component of the test. So in the premium course, we will drill down, give you all the details about backing around a corner, parallel parking, and specific do's and don'ts on each maneuver, all of the maneuvers. Also in the premium course, you'll hear the language that the examiner will use when they give you instructions. They have to use a particular verbiage, they call it, a certain set of instructions worded a certain way. And all the examiners throughout the state should be giving you the test and giving you these instructions in the same way. So you take the premium course, you get to hear what they're going to tell you, and it's not a surprise on the test. And a lot of people tell me just hearing those words that the examiner is going to use and knowing exactly what they're looking for on each part of the test, that's going to cut down on anxiety a whole lot and make it a lot easier for you to stay calm and focused and optimize your performance and pass the test. So that's it. I'm not going to ramble on any longer. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. I ask you to please subscribe to the channel and go check out WashingtonStateDrivingTest.com. Thank you very much. John out.